Okay, so we'll begin. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Dear authors and invited guests, I welcome you all to the technical session 2E. Myself, Anjali, and this session will be moderated by me. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the International Congress on Information and Communication Technology, ICICT 2023, London, United Kingdom. The 8th edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held in London, UK on 20th, 21st February 2023, and the virtual event will be held through Zoom today and tomorrow, that is 22nd and 23rd February 2023. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive session throughout the day. In this session, we'll be having 6 presentations, and each presentation will be given 12 minutes for the presentation, and we'll be giving 3 minutes for a session for the question and answer round. On 10 minutes, I'll raise a gentle reminder to conclude your meeting. There is another request to all the participants that you all please stay connected with us till the closing remarks. Also, if you guys have any query or any update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Just before we get started, I would like to introduce you all to the session chairs of our conference today. We have our session chair, Dr. Sanjay Gaur. Dr. Sanjay Gaur is currently working as a professor and head of Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Jaipur Engineering College and Research Center. He has published more than 95 research papers with Scopus Index and UGC recognized journals. Also published 108 books on computer science and information management, including industry, AI and data science, published by Taylor and Francis Publications. He is a lifetime member of Computer Society of India and the Institution of Engineers. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Anjali.
You're welcome, sir. Also, we have a next session chair, Professor Dalia Mandi. She did PhD in Management Information Systems from the Sadat Academy for Management Sciences. She's an associate professor at ICICT, Canadian International College. She was head of Information System Department in the French University in Egypt, co-director of the CRI Research Lab, and associate professor of Management Infosystem. We welcome you, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
We would like to begin our conference. So we would like to start from the very first presentation. So our first presenter is H. Diksha, and she'll be presenting her paper on a survey on estimation of gender and emotion using paralinguistic features. I would like our presenter to please go ahead with the presentation.
Thank you, Anjali. Can I start sharing my screen? I hope my screen is started to share. And you are able to see the presentation?
Not visible right now.
Is visible to all?
I'm able to see it.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible. You can start a presentation now.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience created. So let me begin the presentation. How wonderful is the human voice? It is indeed the organ of the soul. The intellect of man is enthroned visibly on his forehead and in his eyes, and the heart of man is written on his countenance. But the soul reveals itself in the voice only. Greetings, everybody. You may wonder why I quoted this. These lines of Sir Henry Longfellow spotlights the features of voice. And our topic is estimation of gender and emotion using paralinguistic feature, which is one among the technology improvisation required areas. Can I please switch on to next slide? My name is the previous one. Thank you. My name is Diksha and I am pursuing my final year of undergraduate program in Information Technology at Kumaraguru College of Technology in Tamil Nadu, India. Satyavati, myself, Ajay Krishnan and Santosh of Kumaraguru College of Technology are the authors of this study. Can you please switch on to next slide? This is the agenda for today. Now let's quickly jump into the introduction. Next slide, please. The next, yeah. Speech has long been seen as a fundamental tool for human communication. With the help of paralinguistic feature, that is voice, we will be able to identify the speaker, their emotional state, age, and gender. The process of turning an acoustic voice into text or identifying the speaker is known as speech recognition. The next slide, please. Our objective. It is to identify the gender and recognize the emotional state of the person using the machine learning algorithm. Next, let us look into the applications. The next slide. This algorithm, when successfully developed, can help to adapt to callers in voice portal and call centers. It will be highly useful for target group based advertising. It is also helpful for the identification of person. At the next slide, please. We have conducted literature survey to minutely analyze the required information. Around 15 papers were analyzed. Here are the few. The first is paralinguistic in the previous one, please. I haven't completed the slide. Yeah. Paralinguistic in speech and language, state of the art and the language, authored by Bonja. This paper states the significance of communication. This study gives a general overview of the process, including data collection, pre-processing, chunking, feature extraction, feature and parameter selection, model learning, algorithm selection, and its difficulties to collect information from personality traits. The next paper is, can you please switch on to the next slide? Yeah. Next is the use of long-term features for GMM and I-vector-based speaker diarization system penned by Jordi Lecque. Glottal to noise excitation ratio, instability, flicker is explored in this research. This research uses substrate coefficient and Gaussian mixture modeling to reduce diarization error rate by 24%. The next slide, please. Next, we have surveyed speech emotion recognition with deep learning written by Yasin Ben Air. As different facets are present in the speech data, so an encoder, audio encoder is used. It extracts relevant parameters, thus providing better accuracy. Then data is provided to the classification model to classify emotion. Audio encoder includes Bell frequency substrate coefficient, harmonic noise ratio, zero crossing rate, Tiga engine operator. Support vector mission is used as the classification model. The accuracy rate obtained with the stacked audio encoder is 74.07%. The next slide, please. Going next, we have surveyed paper written by Eltena Zoltan titled Voice-Based Emotion Recognition with the Convolution Neural Network for Companion Robot. In this study, the classifier inputs data in the Bell frequency substrate coefficient. The proposed model uses CNN with the one pair of convolution and pooling layer. The Pratt script application analyzes the voice. The generated accuracy is 71.37%. The next slide, please. Next is speech feature extraction for gender recognition, authored by Anjali. Speech samples for this research were obtained by reciting Hindi vowels. For each audio file, delta, 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 and MFCC speech features are extracted. A stacked classifier using SVM and NNN was developed and predicted using naive Bayes. The accuracy generated with MFCC is 93.48%, else 91.3%. The next slide, please. Then comes the paper Voice-Based Gender Classification Using Machine Learning, authored by R. Saptagiri. In order to determine a person's gender, this study compares linear discriminant analysis, k-nearest neighbor algorithm, support vector mission, random forest, classification and regression trees. It employs scatter plots, R plots, parallel plots, pairwise plots, dot plots, density plots, and box plots, which demonstrates that the support vector machine gives the better results. Next slide, please. Next paper is voice feature extraction for gender and emotion recognition recorded by Nashipudiman. This analysis classifies gender and emotion. Voice activity detection is utilized to pre-process the data and access whether or not the input signal contains speech. Acoustic characteristics are extracted using MEL frequency substral coefficient. The required characteristics are obtained using principal component analysis. The pre-processed input signal is fed to the support vector machine classifier, which is trained to generate valid outputs. It demonstrates 98.88% gender recognition accuracy and 72.02% of emotion recognition accuracy. The next slide, please. With the help of the above, we have decided to choose the dataset to proceed to the implementation. We are going to use 80-20 rule, that is 80 for training and 20 for testing the data. The dataset includes RAVDES, EMODB, and SAVI. The next slide, please. RAVDES. This collection contains over 1,500 audio tracks from 24 different actors. Brief audio samples of 12 male and 12 female actors were collected with the emotions of normal and strong intensity. The next slide, please. The authors were exhibiting 8 different emotions, including calm, happy, sad, angry, fearful, surprised, and disgust. The next slide, please. EMODB. The free German emotional database is named EMODB. The database was produced by the Institute of Communication Science at the Technical University of Berlin. Data was collected from 5 women and 5 male professional speakers. There are 535 utterances totally, which was recorded at the rate of 48 kHz and downsampled to 16 kHz. The next slide, please. There are 7 emotions including in the EMODB database, that is angry, boredom, anxiety, happiness, sadness, disgust, and neutral. The next slide, please. SAVI. 4 native English-speaking men aged 27 to 31 who were postgraduate students and researchers at the University of Surrey were recorded for the SAVI database. With the 120 utterances per head, 480 utterances in total were collected. The next slide, please. The emotions acknowledged include disgust, common, anger, fear, happiness, sadness, surprise, and neutral. The next slide, please. Now we'll look into the workflow. The initial step is to generate the raw input for training and convert them into the waves. The data obtained is pre-processed and the features are extracted. With the help of the extracted features, the machine is trained. Next is the testing phase, where the raw input is given to the classifier, which classifies the gender and emotion. This is an overall process flow how we are gonna decide our algorithm. The next slide, please. Finally, with the help of the above literature survey and analysis, the benefited fields are call center, social robots, and AI. We have planned to improvise the algorithm and improve the precision of the result generated. The next slide, please. Thank you for the opportunity to express our thoughts. Please do pitch your questions if you have any.
Diksha, your work is good as BTech final year students. Whatever you are showing is very nice. Congratulations to you for making a sincere efforts. I just want to ask the question that what is the social benefit of your project? How you benefited society from this project?
As of now, we are working on the marketing sector. When we improve the accuracy of the project, we have tried to use this project to identify the person using their voice, because your voice might be different and my voice might be different. While analyzing this topic, what we felt is like if they had any health issues, or if their throat is not well, or if they had sore throat, we'll be having difficulties. So first step at the initial stage, what we thought is like we'll be analyzing the emotion, we'll be analyzing the gender, together. That will be the initial step for the project. With the help of the insights gained from there, we have planned to identify the person using this to make it as an unique thing to verify the person.
Right, good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dr. Magdi, have you any question from your side?
No, thank you. I want only to thank you for your effort, and I propose you that you can use this project in CRM models. It's very important from the point of view of marketing and customer relationship management. I think it's gonna be benefit.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your effort.
Thank you for the opportunity, and sorry for the inconvenience created by me at the starting of the section because I was not able to present the slides.
Very good. Diksha, your smile is very beautiful. Good. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Next candidate.
Thank you so much, Diksha. We'll move on to our next presenter. I would like to request the presenter Lorena Singwensa Gaswan to please present their paper on applying machine learning techniques to the analysis and prediction of financial data. Dear presenter, please go on with your presentation.
Okay. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, you're
Yes.
audible.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Lorena Siguenza. I come from Ecuador, and together with my colleague Pablo Flores, we are going to present the paper entitled Applying Machine Learning Techniques to the Analysis and Prediction of Financial Data. I will start mentioning that the amount of data currently generated by, in companies is increasing exponentially. Therefore, analyzing and extracting valuable information from them is a competitive advantage that cannot be underestimated. Among the most used methods in data analysis are genetic algorithms, time series, data mining association rules, and machine learning. Machine learning automates the construction of financial methods. It's based on the idea that systems can learn from data, identify complex patterns, predict future behavior, and make decisions with a minimal human intervention. It has been successfully adopted in many fields, such as image recognition, time series analysis, and language processing. Recent surveys also show that credit institutions are increasingly adopting machine learning tools due to the opportunities offered. The next one, please. Indeed, the banking sector is one of the industrial sectors that this technology revolutions has most impacted recently. Machine learning techniques help study many critical issues for financial institutions. For example, areas of interest include analysis of consumer interactions, risk management, as well as credit underwriting and regulatory compliance. Similar, globally, banks have been using artificial intelligence for many years, although initially only for a few highly specialized applications. However, they have just realized the full potential of these advantages, which has resulted in a considerable increase in their investments. This world reality is also affecting the financial institutions of Ecuador, which have taken their first steps in the application of machine learning techniques. Unfortunately, no studies or case studies are still related to this, its application.
Lorena, are you hear me? Lorena, come on your work. Come on your actual work, data sets and analytical works. Okay, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
This can I mention the purpose of the study?
No. We are getting financial analysis. We are getting. Come on, your work. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Pablo, please continue.
Well, hi
Yeah,
everyone.
yes, from here. Yeah, good.
Hi everyone. Well, I'm going to continue with the next section of our study, which is about the methodology. Our study has a three-phase methodology, and the first one is the extraction of the data set. In this phase, we have two macro activities, search and selection. For this, we have to choose about 15 financial institutions, and we choose one of the province of Azuay in the country of Ecuador. In the next phase is the processing of the data set. This phase is dedicated to clean the junk information, complete the missing information, and generate useful information through a rigorous statistical process to learn and validate the models. Finally, the third phase that is the model development. In this phase, the respective classification and prediction model are developed using Weka software and some algorithms such as zero-error, k-nearest neighbor, and multi-layer perceptron. Respecting to the data set, this is contain information on a credit portfolio of a financial institution in Ecuador for the period 2019-2022. It composed about 4,118 observations. Of these, 15 variables there are some qualitative and 5 are quantitative. Regarding currently the anomalies found on the age variable, it was decided to select the records between 18 and 108 years of age. On the other hand, for the variable marital status and occupation, considering that their missing records do not represent even 100 of the data, it was decided to eliminate them as they were deemed not representative. Finally, for the education variable, since it had several missing integers that represent 4.50% of the total data, it was decided to relabel to an analysis of contingent value. In the model generation, for the classification model, we have our output variable is a IP client who is dichotomous with a response of yes or no. We have to do a process that named balanced data with an undersampling technique. We use algorithms like zero-error and k-nearest neighbor. For the test mode, we use cross-validation 10 false and percentage split 80%. In the prediction model, our output variable is investment, the amount that the client investment in the financial institution. For input variables, we have age, education, occupation, and marital status. The algorithms are zero-error and multi-layer perceptron, and the test mode are cross-validation and percent split. In the following session, I share with you the result of the study. The first one refers to the classification model. With the zero-error algorithm at both testing mode and approximate accuracy of 49% is obtained. The receiving operation characteristic row showed that the model is not functional. Its ability to generalize is omitted since it has a specialty in classifying individuals of the class CLI, not VIP, as shown in the graph and confusion matrices. For that, the next step, we use k-nearest neighbor algorithm. In this, shows an improvement. The trade-offs curve behaves closer than ideal. The confusion matrices for both cases concentrate the most significant amount of the data in the median in diagonal. The metrics considered to evaluate the general models are true positive rate, false positive rate, precision, F-measure, and the ROC error. The results of the indicator used for values of K equal to 3, 5, and 7 are shown in the following table. As can be seen, the model with value of K equal to 5 is decidedly the best. In the model, in the prediction model with multi-layer perceptron neural network, first, we use metrics that correlation coefficient, mean absolute error, mean square error, the relative absolute error, and the root relative square error. A multi-layer perceptron neural network is used varying the learning rates by 0.3, 0.5, and 0.7. For the first approach, the software could generate the hidden layers in the default mode. The metric obtained are shown in the table. It is evident that the model with a learning rate of 0.3 and the cross-validation test mode tenfolds is the best. Is slightly best. Finally, in the next process, the number of neurons in the hidden layer was varied, and the learning rate for 0.3 was kept, since it yielded the most encouraging results. The results and metrics of this variation are seen in this table. The table shows that the results are very similar in this group of 3 models. The model that uses a hidden layer with 4 and 8 neurons is one that provides a better correlation coefficient between the input and output variables. Finally, some important conclusion of our study, these 4 conclusions. We can see that adequate pre-training of the data must be based on statistical criteria. For this study, frequency and contingent tables were used, which made it possible to complete the missing data and eliminate the anomalies present adequately. Classification model, 0R and K nearest neighbor algorithms were used, the later being the best with a value of K equal to 5. Prediction model, 0R and multi-layer perceptron neural network algorithm are used, the later being the best with a learning rate of 0.3. And the most important conclusion is that a tool has been generated that allows the financial institution under our study to more accurately classify its client into VIP and not VIP, and to predict with greater certainty the invest amounts of its clients. This is that we want to share with you our study. I hope that appear interesting for you. Thank you so much.
Okay, fine. Fine. Flores, tell me one thing. Which criteria you are adopting here to classify the variable as a qualitative variables and quantitative variables?
For the classification model, the variables that we use is in classification, the output variable is VIP client with a response of dichotomous with yes or no. And for the prediction models, the variable is the investment that the clients put in the financial institution.
I think you are not getting my question. My question is, you are classified some variable in a quantitative as a quantitative variable and some of as qualitative variables, right?
Yeah, well, I can answer that question. We have 5 quantitative variables. In this case, it's age, it's quantitative for sure, investment, checkbox balance, card balance, and sum on companions. So those are quantitative as such. And the 10 qualitative are occupation. It depends on the number that can be transformed to quantitative, but that's true. But we made it in the qualitative. We kept like that. Marital status, education, personal loan, and campaign. Well, campaign, we have 10 variables, qualitative variables.
Fine. Okay, fine. Next.
Thank you so much, Lorena. We'll move on to our next presenter. I would like to request Nadana Ilasufa to present their paper. On the respective topic, blockchain technology in the supply chain, the benefits and challenges. Dear presenter, please go ahead.
Everyone can see my sharing screen.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, I will begin. Today I will present about blockchain technology in the supply chain, the benefit and challenge. First, I start at introduction. Technology has advanced more rapidly recently than in the past, and blockchain is the one most widely discussed in regard to industry supply chain. Blockchain technology is a set of digital tools for decentralized operation that are secure, transparent, and allow information sharing. The use of blockchain will affect how many businesses operate in various industries. To enhance performance and store data through IoT, RFID, and EDI for data security, blockchain can be integrated with their technology. In the past, there has been relatively little research on the overall benefit of blockchain in supply chain. Most of the studies that have been carried out have been focused on specific industry rather than generalizing the benefit of blockchain operation in the supply chain. Hence, the overall benefit of blockchain in the supply chain, regardless of the sector, are not clear. In some, this study aimed at examining the current trend in blockchain technology with the aim of identifying its benefit and challenge that need to be overcome. Next is theoretical background. I have two theoretical background. First is concept of blockchain technology. Blockchain technology can be defined as a peer-to-peer structured network, which is used to create and maintain decentralized database. Records of information in the blockchain are stored in multiple locations instead of at just one, thus avoiding the need for intermediary and ensure greater trust in the environment. The information is checked and validated using a specific mechanism or smart contract before being transformed into a transaction and stored in the blockchain network. Once transaction has been stored as a block of data, it can be linked to other block with identifier and just become part of the blockchain. Second is blockchain technology in the supply chain. Blockchain technology is a distributed database of record transactions that are shared with the participant party, with each being timestamped and verified by consensus of the participant. Moreover, blockchain can work as a database of information and can help integrate all the tools in the supply chain. With blockchain, organization can perform real-time transactions for all participants in the blockchain in the supply chain network. And research methodology. We choose the Scopus database for this research, and we have 4 phases about methodology. First is identification. Researching on Scopus database through keyword blockchain and supply chain. Second phase is screening. We added limitation while searching. First is language, English, document type article, source type journal, and we remove duplication. The third phase is eligibility. We use only open essay article and full text article. The last include phase. We including major subject area and research team. Finally, we got 117 paper. The next part is content analysis. The purpose of the content analysis in this study was to identify the key theme that have been explored in the field of supply chain blockchain research. We categorize and subcategorize the variant aspects. The first category is research focus, which includes blockchain and supply chain as a subcategory. The second category is industry focus, with subcategory of food, finance, construction, agriculture, logistics, humanitarian, and other. Finally, after identifying their two categories, we obtain 35 articles as shown in the table. The result. First is overview. This figure explains the growth of publication about blockchain technology in supply chain topic. In 2017 to 2019, a small number of papers were published, which was followed by substantial growth in 2020 to 2022. The growth in publication increased most from 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021. This being 300% and 195%. In addition, the most publications for a single year were 47 documents in 2021. Next, these figures show most author country and most publication author. Most of the author affiliations are in the United Kingdom, China, and India, followed by Italy, the United States, Australia, South Korea, Germany, Malaysia, and Pakistan. Also, the author with the most publication come from Italy, with 4 out of 5 of them emanating from there. Next is content analysis part. After we got 35 articles, we have reviewed 35 articles, most of which are related to blockchain adoption in the supply chain and its specific benefit for the industry. Regarding content analysis, we will explain the benefit of blockchain that were found in article based on the food industry. The highest number pertain to that industry as shown in before in table 1. After we got the benefit of blockchain, we identify 6 benefits of blockchain, including transparency, traceability, security, information sharing, trust, and cost reduction, which we put into a framework as shown in the figure. Now I will talk about the first benefit of blockchain that we got. First is transparency. In the traditional supply chain, lack of transparency has been identified as a problem for all process from upstream to downstream, which blockchain, the customer can verify the source of raw material and have a clear understanding of the process of product manufacturing. Next is traceability. Traceability refers to ability to track product, transaction, or other, with item being tracked using blockchain, the Internet of Things, or radio frequency identification. For example, in the
Nadal, come on, final conclusion of paper.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah, come on, conclusion of the paper.
Conclusion.
Conclusion of the paper. I mean to say, come on the conclusion of the paper.
I confused about question.
And there is no question. My suggestion is come on the conclusion of paper. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Third security. Third is security. This pertains to information security. That is protecting it from the risk of being attacked. If transaction records are subject to malicious cyber attack, data can be changed or lost, which will impact negatively trust in the supply chain. Next, information sharing. Blockchain technology is based on three types of network. Is public, private, and hybrid. Every network can grant and authorize participant access to view or edit the code. Yes.
I am saying that my suggestion that we know, we are aware about all those things which we are delivering right now. I want conclusion of this paper, please.
Okay. The results have shown the benefit of blockchain pertain to traceability, transparency, trust, security, information sharing, and cost reduction. Each of there is important for improving the supply chain. However, adoption of blockchain technology in the supply chain does pose some challenge for the firm wanting to adopt of it. So company promoting this technology need to provide information to all stakeholders regarding the benefit from blockchain in terms of improving supply chain performance, thereby overcoming resistance to its implementation. And in the future, I think researchers can explore factors influencing blockchain adoption in the supply chain, including barrier to blockchain implementation. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fine. Tell me one thing. You are not mentioning the source of graphs data in your research paper.
Source of data.
Source of data.
Source of data about.
I think you have taken all data from the Statistica website.
Source of data that I use to work in journal.
Okay,
right?
my suggestion is next time you should mention the source from where you are taking the figure, graph, and data. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. The rest is okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anjali, you can carry on.
Do we have any questions from Dr. Martin?
No, thank you. It's clear. Thank you.
Okay, so we move on to our next presenter. I would like to request our next presenter, Mohammad H. Alamun, to present their paper on employing big data analytics life cycle in money laundering detection. Please carry on with your presentation.
Thank you very much. Just I don't have the, okay. Okay, hello everybody. Screens appear front too. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to introduce my papers. It's titled Employing Big Data Analytics Life Cycle in Money Laundering Detections. This is papers work by the teams, Dr. Muhammad Al-Astar and me, and we have two students, Zainab and Tasneem. Inshallah, this is the content of our presentation today. We will speak about the introduction, literature review, and research methodology, and of course, we will discussion about the big data analytics life cycle. Also, finally, we conclusion and futures work. So this is
Mohammed, listen
yes,
to
please.
Start from your methodology.
Methodologies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like this is please, Yani. I won't try to start it as my presentations. Okay. Just because I want to deliver in my knowledge in the papers. In case this is the paper, try to put the models, how to inclusive to present simplified models that employee, and we follow the 6 stages for the big data analytics, discovery, data preparations, and model planning, and model building, communication, or finally the operationalization. Of course, we focus about the topics in our papers. It's the big data and the benefit of the big data analytics, especially in the financials, because this is will try to discover, identify suspicions of transaction and assign fraudulent activity by analysis, and how to use the big data analytics to find solution to discover the suspicions transaction, especially the money laundering. You know, the money laundering, it's like a huge, it's a big problem for the financial transaction, especially we will use the technology. It's easy to send and the laundry the money. We try our papers to find solution to how to detect it, special in this time we have the big data, and the methodology involved establishing patterns. We create patterns for several hypotheses. We listed many hypotheses. In this the case, we listed at least 2 hypotheses to guide the machine how to discover the deducted money laundering. The methodologies, it's like review previous study related to money laundering to develop model for the big data analytics life cycles. We're gathering the data from semi-structures with interview the owner of the financials company to ask them what the hypothesis for the discovery the money laundering traditional ways, and try to create our models based on this is the traditional way hypothesis, and we try to identify hypotheses that help discover suspicious transaction, and we focus about how the big data provide by money transfer company. In the discussions area in our papers, we follow the 6th stage, and we try to create the models and the trading for to discover the two hypotheses at least for to discover the money laundering for the transaction financial transactions. We listed 2 hypotheses. The first hypothesis in this paper to identify a client to receive the payment from a numerous source. Also, we second the hypothesis they involve deducting the total transaction from or the single senders or receive. In this paper, as I told you, it's like the create the models, the guiding to discover financial transaction to easy deducted suspicions transaction. The second phase is we try to prepare the data, getting the data from the financials company, and we normalized and cleaning the data. The third phase is we discover about the model planning, what the attribute needed, and the hypothesis will evaluate it using the tools. Even the exchange company client engaged the money laundering double activity. Also, the teams will work to create the special modules based on the hypothesis. The figure, this is the phase number 4. This is the sum figures to guide us and to show how to, when apply the big data analytics, special to deducted the money laundering, we can see in the image to show us before the investigation, after the investigation to discovery, the suspicions, the transaction. The phase 5, we try to, is like the team develops several strategies, interpret the study result, and we ask the transactions and the customer to give the good view to discovery and how to know if we have suspicions transaction or not suspicions. Last phases, we try to prepare the report to as the figures to give the stakeholder to easy to guide him. They are suspicions transaction, especially the money laundering. In conclusion, the paper attempt to build models for identify suspicious financial transaction. We will using the big data analysis life cycle, and the paper used different hypotheses. We listed 2 hypotheses, but in future, inshallah, we will try to cover and added more hypotheses to be, this is the model B, succeed to discover all transaction, financial transactions to easy to help and to identify and determine where's the suspicions transaction. Thank you very much. Any question?
Thank you, Mohammed. No question from my side. Dr. Dalia, if you question something.
Me too. I don't have any question. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anjali, you can carry on for next.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to our next presenter then. I would like to request Snipola to please present their paper on musical instrument classification using K-nearest neighbors. Dear presenter, please present your presentation.
Yes, give me a second, please.
For sure, take your time.
Can you see now my screen?
Yeah,
yes,
visible.
it's visible.
Thank you. Well, hi everyone. Thank you for the warm welcome. My name is Luis Fernando Sanchez, and I'm going to present to you the paper referring to musical instrument classification using K-nearest neighbors. The authors of this paper are Franco Castañón, Cesar Rodriguez, Dr. Francisco Cantú, Dr. Ceballos, and myself. The agenda for this presentation includes the introduction of the research paper, the problem definition, the methodology involving the research project, the obtained results, a benchmark comparison where our results are compared with the state-of-the-art solutions, a conclusion, and finally, the future work to do. Musical instrument classification describes an interesting problem due to the entropy of information inside audio samples containing data related to musical instrument sounds. Each instrument sound has an audio file footprint from which a feature analysis can be obtained to produce a training dataset, classifying effectively new samples of data by assigning the correct label. Several applications for the feature recognition methodology and embedding mechanisms were used for the classification problem, such as principal component analysis, or PCA, and KNN. The results showed that the PCA technique improves the KNN model by analyzing the data distribution and reducing the dimensions of the data, keeping the most representative information of the original data. For the problem description, it is aimed to establish a unique trace of the sound from each audio file inside the provided dataset. The dataset is composed of several acoustic scenes. This means that the dataset doesn't have the same type of data when referring to the content of the audio files. And this could be seen as the melody or the single pitch. They are different in each one of the audio files. Now, for the dataset generation, this data was obtained from Free Sound Dataset Kaggle 2018, which is composed of 11,073 sample sounds segmented into 41 labels. And these labels were defined as musical instruments or non-musical instruments. Each audio sample refers to only one label. The length of the samples varies between 30 milliseconds and 30 seconds. After cleaning the dataset, 4,712 audio samples are selected and segmented into 18 musical instruments. 70% of the dataset was used to train the model, and the other 30% to test the model. In this bar graph that we can see here, it can be seen that how the reduction of labels was implemented and how most of the labels had the same proportion related to the clean dataset. It is also important to say that the instruments selected for the classification model are defined as objects whose main purpose is to produce music. In total, 55 features are defined to measure the parameters from the audio samples in order to generate the input vectors for the classification model. The features include a content analysis referring to measuring the sound sample with audio techniques, such as chromogram, spectral centroid, spectral bandwidth, roll-off, harmonics, male frequency septal coefficients, and tempo, We obtain the mean and the variance of each one of these features to obtain the more data as we could from the audio files. Besides, a statistical analysis is performed to obtain these features, such as zero crossing rate and mean square error. A brute force algorithm was used to determine how many features would be better to implement in the KNN model to maximize its accuracy. The results showed that by implementing the whole 55 features, the score of the KNN model was maximized. And we can see it here in this table. When we applied all features, we obtained a score of 0.7793 instead of when we apply male frequency, central coefficients, roll-off, and spectrogram, we obtain a close value of 0.7609. And this is close enough, but it is not the maximum as the result that we get when we apply all the features in the model. Then an analysis of the data distribution was done to identify the features with the most distributed values, since PCA defines a vector that maximizes the separation of data in space. We perform an analysis of the standard deviation of each one of the features that we had, and we sort them out in order to know which ones were more distributed along a range of the data. A brute force algorithm was used to identify the optimal quantity of input vectors and the number of vectors in the output dataset after applying PCA. The result was that the input data frame was 37 variables, and it is reduced to 30 variables in total at the end. That means that from the 55 features that we had at the beginning, we make it small to 37 variables, and then by using PCA, we ended up with 30 variables in total. The KNN with PCA, that data treatment model with the previous configuration, provided an accuracy of 0.7906, outperforming the single KNN model with an accuracy of 0.7793. And in here, there is the confusion matrix of the output model that depicts the classification performance of each label. For example, around the middle of the confusion matrix is the case of the oboe label, and it has a 0.94 classification score, which is a pretty good one in comparison with others of the model. In this scatter graph, a comparison of the real data and predicted data is shown, where the display axis represents the first two vectors of the input data after a PCA application. And we can see it here that the data that we can compare between the real data model and the predicted data model is pretty similar. Now for the benchmark comparison, we wanted to compare our work and our results with what is in the state of the art. And according to Eronen in year 2000, they classified 30 instruments with a KNN classifier, and they obtained an accuracy of 0.8. Brown in year 2001, they classified 4 instruments with a K-means algorithm to calculate clusters, and they obtained an accuracy of 0.79. Maliki et al. In year 2018, they classified 5 instruments using a neural calculation algorithm, and they obtained a 0.94 accuracy. And in more recent years, Blask in 2022 classified 4 instruments with a convolutional neural network peer instrument. So they made 4 convolutional neural networks, and they obtained an accuracy of 0.99. And finally, Probabati in 2022, they classified 16 instruments with supervector machine and KNN for the feature extraction, and they obtained an accuracy of 0.9937, which is an impressive accuracy for the instrument classification. In conclusion, the implementation of the PCA technique with KNN improves the accuracy of the classification model from 0.77 to 0.79. Furthermore, the convolutional neural network technique for classification models shows a remarkable difference in accuracy related to the KNN techniques. And this could be seen when we see that the CNN technique accuracy was close to 0.99, and the embedded technique presented in this paper from us provided an accuracy of 0.79, which means that there is a lot of difference between the different implementations. Now, for future work, it is aimed to obtain the features of an attack decay sustained release envelope, or ADSR, to improve the input dataset of the classification model. And this comes because we thought about the way of the dataset is obtained. How are we obtaining our features to train the model? So maybe we can. The idea is to use this new methodology to see if we can improve our model. And the other one is to extract the features and generate the classification model with the use of the CNN technique and compare the results implementing the same dataset in order to have a background, a reference, and to see if the same CNN technique improves our model, but also if the new methodology of getting the features is also a good idea for an improvement of the model. Thank you very much for the opportunity and for your attention. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them.
No, Lois, you have presented nicely all the things and all the concepts you make clear. So there's no question from my side. Congratulations, you did commendable job.
Thank you.
Yeah, may I have a question?
Yes.
Yes, thank you for your presentation, Fernando. I think it is very clear. So question is, does the number of instruments that you study makes a difference in the accuracy of the model?
Yes, totally. Because, for example, in some cases we had an accuracy with the oboe. For example, this instrument, we had an accuracy of 0.94. And we had other ones, such as the piano, that we had an accuracy of about 0.52. So yes, the labels that we have in the model affect the complete model performance.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luis. We'll move on to our next presenter. So I would like to request Zornista Yardanova, our next presenter, to present her paper on technology in the development of eco-innovation. If she's here, can you please present the presentation?
Hello, Anjali, are you there?
I sincerely thank contribution in this. Yes, I'm here. I would sincerely like to thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope for all of you. Through email within the 2 working days, and for all the papers have been all the publications. So I'll request all of you to kindly cooperate the team of ICICT 2023. I would also like to thank our session chairs, Dr. Sanjay Gaur, for both of you. Thank you so much for being here. and joining our conference. We thank on behalf of the team ICICT and Global Knowledge Research Foundation and panelists. Thank you so much for being here and cheering us.
Thank you.
We thank you for your valuable presence. Also, I would like to request all our presenters and everybody here to kindly turn on their cameras for a quick snapshot. Everybody, they can turn on their cameras for a quick snapshot, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, all of the presenter, and all the best for the future.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
So
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day.